Here's a good one from Yago. Hey, Andrew, I'd make a comical title for your name, but it doesn't feel appropriate given the nature of my question. My dad, actually my stepfather, but he is and always will be my dad, is going through a difficult emotional period. I've seen him drinking and smoking a lot, and he's recently been subtly mentioning contemplating suicide. I've confronted him, told him to seek therapy or marriage counseling with my mom, but either he is too proud and stubborn or has given up entirely and refuses to take my advice or even acknowledges he needs help from a therapist. I can only have so many emotional and hard conversations with him that don't solve or change anything because no matter what I say, nothing gets through. I don't know what to do. There's a lot more I could say, but I need some advice. And if you could maybe give a few words for my dad, I think he could benefit from hearing what you went through during your darkest hour. Okay, well, first, let me say this to your dad, okay? To your dad, I would say this. When I went through my darkest hour, I was absolutely convinced that I was in the pit of hell. I was in the pit of deepest darkness. There was no way out. I was contemplating suicide. I was thinking of killing myself. I was inches away from the daylight. I was steps away from the daylight. Everything was about to change. Everything was about to turn around. My entire life since that moment has been a life of increasing joyfulness, even in grief, even in sometimes sorrow. You do not know where you are. Only God knows where you're standing. So if you're in despair, you might want to think about that. The other thing is, in your letter, this is to you, Yago, in your letter, you keep talking about what you're telling your father, but you never talk about what he is telling you or whether you're listening to him. And I wonder whether you're listening enough. I wonder whether you're just letting him talk. Really, the most important thing you can do for someone who is suicidal is listen to them. It's not tell them, give them advice. Advice can always be gotten around. In fact, it gets to be almost a game that people in despair play with you. They play this game of soliciting advice from you so they can tell you why it won't work. And that makes them feel in control and that makes them feel powerful. Instead of doing that, why not just listen to him? Why not just hear what's hurting him and be there for him and tell him you love him and hear some and listen some more. The more you listen, the more you'll know, the more he'll have an outlet for it. And maybe he'll start to see where the trouble lies in ways that he doesn't see now. I mean, I feel that there's a lot of stuff you're not saying. Maybe you are listening, but if you're not, it's something that you should consider, that really just having someone there to be with you and love you and accept you and listen to you is the most important thing that anybody who is near despair can have.